This is number 20, is it? I think it is. Yes, yes, yes. This is day number 20. Okay, public. Right, let's just get this done. All right. Hello there. Okay, it's day number 20. Day number 20. Good morning, good day, good evening, good afternoon. It's afternoon where I am. It's mid-afternoon or late afternoon. It's almost 5 o'clock. It's late afternoon. That lovely sultry time of day in the tropics where the sun's just beginning to soften is probably the best word. And it's the weekend, so everybody sort of, most people anyway, many people are relaxing, taking it easy, doing the Saturday things. And today, one of the things I did, I went to a wedding. I'm still wearing my wedding things. I'm on my way to the reception. I went to the ceremony. I'm on my way to the reception. I stopped to do my live because I'm going to the reception and then I'm going to go to a party. It's weekend and I'm going partying. I haven't done it in a long time. I'm so longing to dance. COVID had us all so shut down, and I am so longing to just get on a dance floor. I love to dance. I love to dance. I love to dance. And I love calypso and soca and reggae and zouk and cadence and bachata and all my Caribbean musics. And so when I go dancing tonight, I'm going to be dancing until the morning. And my plan is that for as long as I live, however long I live, I will be able to dance all night. I might choose not to. Maybe when I reach 70 or so, I might decide, no, Shirley, really not. But I want to be able to. So when we talked the other day about keeping my body strong, that's one of the things I'm keeping it strong for. So I could dance all the way through my life. So that no matter how old I am, I could put on my dancing shoes and go dance. I'm going to do that tonight and see how it works. It really has been, 2.5 years I haven't been on a dance floor. That doesn't make sense. It's time. It's time. I'm going to go enjoy myself. And I would like to suggest that you do too. So I went to a wedding this afternoon. And being me, I was looking, it's a church ceremony. And we know that, religions are kind of not so, they're kind of slow to catch up. And so I was waiting to see if there was this to honor and obey. Because interestingly enough, probably about 4 years ago, I went to a wedding of two young people, a Christian wedding, and they chose to say that. I was surprised. And then because I had a conversation with the priest afterwards, he said, no, it's not included in the ceremony anymore, but some people want it. And so he wanted to put it in. It wasn't in today. And it's important. It really is important to me because, at the ceremony today, one of the things they ask, who gives this woman to be married to this man? Because there still is a father giver. There still is a notion that women are owned by men and by their fathers, and they're given away to their husbands who now own them. Yeah. No. A few weeks ago, I saw an article. I can't remember who wrote it. It was in a British newspaper, a British magazine. Jennifer Lopez got married again, and she changed her name. She's now Mrs. Affleck. And the journalist, the author of the article, was annoyed, royally annoyed. Why would she want to do it? In this day and age, we don't do that. You see, my thing about that is that's the whole point of having choice. We do it if we want. So if we want to say honor and obey, we say it. The issue for me is not being the only thing. In these times where we are requiring that people acknowledge that women are whole, competent, real human beings with intelligence and capacities and capabilities. And mosquitoes are eating me. Um, in these days, it ought to be that women have choice. You don't just get given away to a man. You're not, a handbag. But if you want to be, then that's up to you. You don't, you're an adult. So you're an adult and you're not in the military. So you're not required to obey. But if you choose that, it's up to you. You're an adult, or electricity just, you get to do that. Yes. The same thing applies for the name. You get married. There are some cultures where it's just normal, standard to keep your name, to not change your name. In the Western world, in the Christian world, people change their names, or used to. It's happening less and less. And actually, in some parts of the Christian world, like Italy and so on, people sort of, many of my friends got married and didn't change their names. You didn't have to, because you don't take on the name of a man necessarily. You don't have to do that. If you want to, go right ahead. The same thing applies for the argument about abortion. The United States, which is, it says, one of the most advanced country in the world, is having this conversation today in 2022. A bunch of men, old white men, are telling women what we can and cannot do with our bodies. These are the same people who want to defund Planned Parenthood and all kinds of things, because the notion that women are owned persists. The women are property to be owned and to be managed and to be directed and given away persists. So when I talk with women about leadership, and especially about self-leadership, that is what comes to mind. The power, the right and the power to make your own decisions, to lead the life that you want, do what you want. If you want to get married and take a man's name and be given away, do it. If you don't. If you want to have an abortion, you have the need to have an abortion, you do it. If you don't want to, then don't. But it cannot be that the only choice is a choice. The only choice is this one. There are all kinds of reasons. And I was so distressed. There were in the same week, there were two stories about 10-year-old girls who had been raped and had been, the laws were forcing them to carry the baby to term. How in the world does that make sense? If you don't make exceptions for rape and incest, and how does that make sense? Where in the world does that make sense? So when I take my political stance, which evidently is what I'm doing today, when I take my political stance, these are things I militate against, because they deeply affect women's lives. I have worked with young girls who have been raped. There were two instances I can recall, where the young girl, one was 13, one was 14. Actually, the one, she had the baby when she was 13, so she was raped and got pregnant when she was 12. And they had the babies because they were in care, they were taken into care, and there was nobody to advocate for them. And the system was, you don't. And so these young girls, of course, both of those children are in foster care, and it's my hope that they're being taken care of and they're doing well. But what I also know is that those two who are girls now, who are women now, are still suffering. So I have no patience with any notion that denies women choice, any notion coming from any quarter that denies women choice, ownership, autonomy. I have no patience, none. I give it no quarter. But I'm going to this wedding. I'm going to have a good time because, marriage is a good thing in many ways. Marriage has its uses, it has its benefits, and it's an institution that's important to people. Remember, I said before, one part of my philosophy of life is whatever gets you through this life, as long as you harm no one, whatever gets you through and it harm none. I'm wicked that way. Do what you will, and it harm none. And so, if you want to get married, get married. If you don't. If you want to have children, have children. If you don't. You agree, you make agreement with the people in your lives based on your right to choose. Your right to choose the life you want, to lead the life that you want, to be able to make the decisions and go to the places and do the things and acquire and achieve the things, experience the things that you want. We become adults. When we become adults, we gain that right. When we're children, yes. Yeah, I enjoyed being a child. When I was a child, my parents treated me like a child, and they taught and guided me. And one of the things they taught me was that when you become an adult, you get to choose the things you do and don't do. And then you have politicians, usually men, and in many instances, old men, who want to deny young women in general, these choices. No. So anyway, that's my political thing for today. It's Saturday night. It's Saturday, and it's in the tropics. Look at this. It's raining and it's humid, and I'm melting. So I'm going to go freshen up and go dance and have a good time. And I will see you tomorrow. In the meantime, think about the choices, the life that you want, the choices you get to make, the life you want to lead, and how I think it's a good thing to often, regularly at any rate, take some time just to think about the choices that we make for ourselves and how they affect other people. And maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Self-leadership is about leading the life that we want. But of course, our decisions, our choices, either involve and or affect other people. And so we take those into consideration. For some reason, men think that we can't do that, which, however, is what we're required to do, generally, think about others. And yet when we come to make decisions, they think that we are unable. Women are incapable. This is a kind of random live this afternoon. I am just riffing on what's going on in my life at the moment. So it's kind of sort of a vlog, I suppose, this afternoon, which you get to do sometimes. But in the week, this week, we're going to talk some more. We're going to talk deeply. There are a couple of things coming up, leading out of this issue of self-leadership and leading from inside. I got a couple of requests to go into detail about the leading from inside. And so we'll do that this week, actually. So on Monday, tomorrow we will, it'll be a little more casual, I suppose. It will be. And then on Monday, we can do some real work on leading from inside. All right. So enjoy your weekend. Have a good time, and take good care. And thank you all so much for joining me.